with that, we need to find out what is happening down in the pits. Let's kick things over to Eric List for our pit walk.
Happy Father's Day weekend here at Skagit Speedway, the first of two of this double-header weekend. Well, welcome to tonight's pre-race pit walk and talk. I'm track reporter Eric List, and I'm happy to have you along with me. Yes, first of two races this weekend. We race tonight, you remember we race tomorrow as well. Gates open at noon, racing starts at 2. Adult tickets, buy one, get one free. We hope to see you here tomorrow, but let's talk about tonight and tonight's racing action. 360s, Sporties, and IMCA Modified. It's going to be a lot of fun. Race starts, looking to do some pretty impressive things. We'll talk about that later on in the pit walk. But with that, let's take a look at tonight's order of events. 360 hot lap, 360 qualifying, Sporty hot lap, Sporty qualifying, and the Modifieds will hot lap as well. Puts us in opening ceremonies at 7 o'clock. Heat races will go 8 laps in distance, starting with the Sporties, and then the Mods, and then the 360s as well. A main time follows 25 laps for Sports Sprint cars, 25 laps for the IMCA Modifieds, and 30 uninterrupted laps for the 360 Sprint cars. First of two nights of racing, let's go check out the pits. Well, we'll be down in the pit area here at Skagit Speedway, starting on the pit entry side. And of course, we run into the Modifieds. Modifieds, the 360s and Sporties running tonight. The Modifieds, 3 races and 3 different winners. Jeff Westergaard won open night, Jeff Morris won May 3rd, and then Cole Logan, the most recent winner, led all 25 laps back on May 10th. Pick up that win. Jeff Westergaard leads the points battle. 5-1 Modifieds. He picked up a new motor. His motor was rebuilt. Got that yesterday. We'll move along and we'll talk about the 55 of Trey Starks, looking to go 3 in a row in the 360 Sprint cars. He's won the past 2 weekends, partially at the expense of Robbie Price, who he's passed with 1 lap to go and then 2 laps to go. Robbie Price along with Jesse Schlotfeld, both not here tonight. They're running the fastest 5 days of motorsports, but the 55 of Trey Starks has been fast in a 360 or a 410. And he leads the points, as to be expected, with 479 points. Colton Heath is in second place. He walked by his car a little bit earlier. And Kobe Thornhill, who we'll get to later, sits in third. Starts Heath Schlotfeld, who's 4th in points, have yet to finish outside the top 5 through 4 races. So a lot of cars running really well. There's Peyton Drake giving a wave, doing double duty in the 360 and Sportsman tonight, and as he has been throughout this year. Peyton's got a nice streak of top 5 finishes going. He's finished 3rd last weekend. And there's the man, though, they're all chasing the 22J of Jetson Jacobson. Jacobson didn't win last weekend. He finished 2nd, but he leads Sportsman Sprint car points with 356 over Jane Whitney, and then Peyton Drake, who's in 3rd. Drake's 44 points behind, but the 22J has been fast. He was fast last Saturday. But he was beat by a guy we'll look at farther down, Steven Hendrickson, who's 1 for 2 and A main started at Skagit Speedway. As mentioned, Father's Day weekend here at Skagit Speedway. We run tonight, this Saturday, and tomorrow as well. Adult tickets tomorrow are buy one, get one free, so we hope to see you here. Bring your dad out and come watch the races, Sporties and Hornets in the house. Well, let's move close. So there's the 13, Steven Hendrickson. He's 1 for 2 in Sportsman Sprint car A mains that he has started at Skagit Speedway. And last Saturday, June 7th, he led all 20 laps in the main event to pick up his first career Skagit Speedway win. 13 was dominant. He swept the night, a clean sweep for him. Levi Hillier, the 26, Rudine Racing, won at Deming Speedway last night in the 600 Open Division. 26 has had a lot of speed this year. There's a guy who's in 2nd in points for the Sportsmen. Justin Jacobson. Jaden Whitney is 35 points back of Justin Jacobson. Kobe Thornhill sits 3rd in 360 points. And as we near the end of the pit area, we'll go race tonight, 360s, 40s, and IMCA Modifieds. Thanks for joining me on Eric's pre-race pit walk and talk.
A reminder to you that we've got smart water and other great beverages available at the North and South concession stands here tonight at Skagit Speedway, as well as if you're going to pick up popcorn either from the Mom and Pa's Kettle Corn or from either of our souvenir stands, they come with a $5 car wash at the Blue $5 off car wash coupon at the Blue car wash on all popcorn and kettle corn bags. So, extra reason to get some popcorn or kettle corn tonight. $5 off to the Blue Cow Car Wash from us here at Skagit Speedway. Season ticket holders, your gift cards ready to be picked up at Will Call. If you haven't grabbed those yet, those are available for you. Our 50-50 tonight is benefiting Storm Aquatics. Storm Aquatics, a year-round competitive swim team offering high-quality professional coaching. Storm Aquatics, our 50-50 tonight here at Skagit Speedway. Track packing going on right now. More of the pre-race show coming up. Well, the Skagit Speedway Fun Bus is making a trip around the racetrack. Exciting to have Carla at the behind the seats of the Fun Bus. And today, this afternoon, was part of the parking lot party that went on. 70th birthday girl Dorothy Stacy is in the bus. Debbie and Justin Warden, Dorothy's daughter and son-in-law, John and Andrew Baker are in there. Well, Andrew couldn't make it, so Sandra is in the bus as well, along with our buddy Rick and more. So big happy birthday, and on the Fun Bus for Skagit Speedway is that group. If you are interested in getting your group on the Fun Bus, you can contact the track office during the week, and we can arrange that for you. And again, big happy 70th birthday to Dorothy. If you want to everybody who's hanging out on the bus. Carla said today that she was going to put the hammer down and make a little faster laps today, so.
Can we start recording a track record for Carla in the bus?
We should.
Without telling her.
Yeah, I don't know where we would measure it from, but at the same time, we're going to need to do that because, frankly, everything is timed and competitive here at Skagit Speedway, including the Fun Bus laps. So for that group, for Rick and his crew, again, Dorothy, Debbie, Justin, John, and the gang. Thanks for riding the Skagit Speedway Fun Bus with us. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget, Jim Raper Memorial Dirt Cup, June 19, 20, and 21. That's coming up next week. But before we get there, it is BOGO time tomorrow, Sunday.
Yeah.
Father's Day, we're here at the racetrack.
Sunday.
Racing at 2 o'clock. Buy one, get one on your adult tickets. I'm Caleb Hart, Eric List, joining me up here in the booth for the start of our show today, where we are into hot laps for our 360 sprint cars. 360s will hot lap, then qualify, and then the Sportsman will hot lap and qualify, and then the Modifieds will come up and hot lap as well. And we start things off with a look at the 95R of Dan Reynolds out of Lewiston, Idaho. Sierra Pro Torches, Diamondback Shooting Range, and Auto Body Super Center, the sponsors on the 95 of Dan. Good field here tonight at 360s, Eric.
Very healthy field of 360s.
Very strong, deep field as well.
Out there as well at Oak Harbor, Washington, the After Hours Customs and Collisions, Lewis Auto Glass, Terraza Auto Detail, Black Market Speed, that's the 51 of Dustin Gehring. Doing double duty tonight for Dustin, double duty Gehring.
That's right. One of a handful of drivers who is pulling off double duty between both sprint car divisions. Luke Didiux, the 9A, Maple Ridge, BC, Pack Trucking, Miles Sand and Gravel Mills Electric, Nordic Temperature Control, and Herc Reynolds are your sponsors on the 9A. A. Speaking of double duty, this young lady, also a double duty driver.
Out of Monroe, it's Kira Zylstra, the Maxim Uncle Bill's on-site mobile truck wash, Shelton Land and Home, Huffman Enterprises, Cut Rate Auto Parts. It's Kira Zylstra in the 151 and the 51T.
5D's Destry Miller, the R Community Credit Union, Bulldog Trailer Sales 5D. Destry, the reigning champ of the Grays Harbor Raceway. And the 3B following him, Brody Ferguson from Langley, BC, Old Timers Bar and Grill, Chase Construction, Shark Racing Engines, and Copo Customs. Well, first session is done. You can watch times on the Skagit Speedway lap board to the right of the big screen as they come across. Fastest lap so far appears to be Brody Ferguson. Meanwhile, Justin Youngquist grabbing the microphone, third party to our three-man siesta up here in the booth. Welcome in, Justin.
Thank you, Caleb.
Fun field here tonight. Should be good racing as we've got a deep 360 division and a whole bunch of Sportsman sprints as well out here today, as well as first time we've seen the Modifieds in about a month. our 2 Prelude to Dirt Cup races tonight, and then our Father's Day show tomorrow, getting us all set up for the big show coming up next weekend. And I don't know about you, but people are seeming extra jacked.
I think it's really cool that there's an extra day of act. Well, so tomorrow, right? It's like move-in day for Dirt Cup camping and everything, which
Yep.
I'm sure will be full. I don't know how sold it is, but normally very full.
Part of the reason
Totally
we're racing,
different vibe,
yeah,
right?
part of the
Yep.
reason we're racing tomorrow. Move the trailer in and then come on over to the track and enjoy an afternoon with Sportsman, Sprints, and Hornets.
Very, very cool that we're doing that. Trying to give it a little bit something extra for Dirt Cup week on top of the Dirt Cup party, on top of the golf tournament and everything happening Wednesday. You know, there's kind of a gap of like, okay, well, what else can we do? And so, you know, Kevin and John and everybody kind of putting stuff together and getting a Sunday after church race going. So pretty cool that we're doing that tomorrow.
And part of the reason we're taking Monday and Tuesday is to give those drivers who have been on the NARC Fastest 5 days, a couple of days, a breather before the activities kick back up. Is a bunch of drivers who went down to do the Fastest 5 days.
Well, and of course, you know, 2 of those, I know you already touched on it, but Jesse Schlottfeld, Robbie Price, both, you know, not with us tonight because their participation in the Fastest 5 days. So Jesse, of course, you know, not with us, but running down at Willamette tonight, got his first win on the NARC tour last night at Cottage Grove Speedway. So very cool for Jesse Schlottfeld to get that.
2 career 410 wins here at Skagit Speedway, and then picking one up with the King of the West last night in pretty impressive fashion as well. That battle was getting really juicy down at the end between him and Tanner Holmes and more. So
Fairly heavy track for Cottage Grove too. So something that we don't really see here that often at Skagit. So it's like, I was like, oh, what, you know, what's he gonna do with the heavier track? But man, they got that Triple X car working real good around the Cottage Grove.
So that first chance that I had to watch the highlight video on it, and the velocity that he came through 1 and 2 with, it was like the car was on a slot car track.
Oh, grab that little bit of break, because of course Cottage Grove doesn't have a wall, right? So it's a little bit different mentality going around a track like that. It's only a quarter mile, high bank though, so you can carry a lot of speed. And yeah, just grab some brake, keep the car pinned kind of right on the edge of that cushion, and he very fast, very fast.
Yeah, bodes well. A lot of confidence for that crew coming into Dirt Cup 53, which again starts with the NARC Benevolent Fund Race Redeem Foundation charity golf tournament on Wednesday morning. And you can still sign up to play golf at SkagitSpeedway.com. And then we're going to the Railroad Pizza and Pub. That starts at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, where we're going to have live music. The Chris Seeger Band will be there as usual, and those guys absolutely jam. Cars will be there. Drivers will be there. We'll have food and beverage. The special menu that the Railroad always puts on is absolutely awesome.
So good.
Plus, if I see everything right, I think they're coming up with some new 210 brew concoctions that are going to be at the Railroad that night.
There's going to be a debut of a new product.
Good enough.
A new brew.
You're going to want to be there.
Yes.
But it's a great time. It's a good chance to catch up with all your friends you haven't seen in a while. See the cars, do a little socializing, and just have fun with us. That's coming up Wednesday night at the Railroad Pub and Pizza in downtown Burlington. Cars, drivers, the Chris Eager Band, food, and more. We look forward to seeing you there before 3 nights of Dirt Cup coming up the 19th, 20th, and the 21st. So we're waiting for our second session of 360 sprint cars to hit the track. See, there's a look. I like that graphic right there. It actually has Chris playing the guitar. You missed it.
It'll come back. Yeah,
Cole at the control will make it happen.
He will.
Cole on the pole will make it go.
Oh, that's new. Cole at the control. He's looking at us like, stop.
I'm going to do what? What
Yep.
again? So let's tell you about the drivers who are on the track competing here in the 360 division, as this is practice/hot laps. Chance for him to shake down the cars and figure out where they're at for the night. Jordan Milne is car number 3. NAPC, TRC Transmission and Manufacturing, Synergy Coatings, and DC Signs sponsor the 3 car of Jordan Milne.
18 rolling through turn number 2 is Jason Solwald from Burlington, Washington in the Blue Cow Car Wash, Carmart USA, Lulu's Espresso, and thanks to Aaron, number 18 car.
It was Shaylin's birthday the other day.
What?
If you haven't been down to the coffee stand, Lulu's Espresso, and wish her a happy birthday, you need to do so at some point in time tonight. She made me that blended Lotus that was delicious.
Oh, I love a good Lotus.
Delicious. Rolling behind Jason is the Roots Racing 8R And tonight, we're spoiled to have Tony Gomes in the car. Tony Gomes in the Richmond Engines Roots Racing Triple X entry.
Rolling down the front straightaway behind him in car number 26 from Burlington, Washington. It's Levi Hillier. Levi Hillier in the Rudine Racing Speedy Buildings Race Rudine Foundation Race Ready Clothing and Factory Cane sponsored car you see on your screen right there. Other car on the track is the 10C. That is Colin Mackey from Bellingham, Washington, in the PDR Marine Fabrication, Speedmart, Brothwick, KSM, and Reed Auto Machine sponsored 10C.
So again, deep field here on the night. Let's get another look at Milne in the 3 car. Speed can getting a clump of clay on it as they come by. And here in 360 practice, fastest car is Colin Mackey so far on the track. Not nearly as fast as we anticipate it'll end up being. Mackey, Solwald, Hillier, Gomes, and Milne 1 through 5 early. Hillier trying to knock his time down, but right now it is Mackey at 12:06.88, the fastest car on the raceway at Skagit Speedway.
Good for Colin, because last week, man, it seemed early in the night, they had trouble after trouble, and then I remember him pulling off the track in the feature, so good to see Colin getting some quick laps there and hot laps. I was down in the pits earlier, and I was talking with Trey Starks and Colby Thornhill both, and they were talking about how much more moisture it seems like the track has in it tonight. So not surprised to see the little bit faster laps. It just seemed like it was the moisture got in the track a little bit deeper throughout the day, maybe this week even, that we may see some faster laps, maybe build a little bit of a cushion. We'll kind of see what happens, but right now, I mean, it's such an early time to look at it, but
you look at the week we had, it wasn't blistering red hot all week. We had anticipated it being, but there ended up being more cloud cover and more moderate temperatures than I think anybody thought. So a chance to get more water into it and retain that water as well. Plus, try to work ahead a little bit because there is less days in between when we'll have cars in the track next with tomorrow's Father's Day show and then the upcoming Jim Rape Memorial Dirt Cup. These track crews are going to be hard at it to the point that as soon as the checkered flag falls, the gates to the racetrack are going to be closed, and they're going to have equipment on the track getting prepped for tomorrow and trying to get the surface rehydrated and ready to go for more racing action.
Yeah, we saw the sun surprised me anyway today because it stayed fairly temperate throughout the day. Like, it was kind of cloud cover and whatever. So I do not envy the track crew in having to kind of calculate the water. Like, okay, we're going to put the last load of water on at 3 o'clock or whatever, because you get that cloud cover, the sun comes out, and it's just such a balance. They do a very, very good job here at Skagit Speedway.
Down the front straightaway, next car out for practice is the 19 of Colby Thornhill. Thornhill entering quarter number 1 in the 19. He's sponsored by BME Enterprises, Missile Motorsports, Extreme Graphics, and PGH Excavating. That is the 19 of Colby Thornhill.
Rolling into turn number 1 in the 29K, that is Levi Kuntz. Levi Kuntz in car 29K from Carnation, Washington, in the George Anderson Company Leuna 292 Stillwater Trucking, Looker, and Bighorn Excavating sponsored car. Did I say it right, Caleb?
You got just the right amount of A's in Carnation. 66 is Tanner Holm. Tanner in the Wingdown Driving Experience Speedmart Race Rudine Foundation Johansson Mechanical Central Welding sponsored car. Holm in car number 66.
In the 0, making our way down the back straightaway from Alger, Washington, in the Elite Transportation Cascade Materials Nordic Temperature Control ART chassis. That is Ashley Johnson. Ashley Johnson in car 0.
To the racetrack behind her, the former Sportsman Sprint Champion in 33R is Bill Rude. Skagit Roofing, Sign Pro, Ideal Rental, R&H Mechanical, and Northwest Auto Body sponsors for the veteran Bill Rude. look at Thornhill. Ripping laps. Colby is quick time here so far. Out of the practicers, in fact, down to a 12:3:52. So it is Thornhill, Holm, Mackey, Rude, and Sowald right now, 1 through 5, with looks like 5 more cars to come out.
Yeah, this is a totally different track than what we're used to seeing early in the night. Kind of have a baseline setup when you go to the track and then do some tuning to her, because there is definitely more moisture in the track tonight than what we have seen so far this season. Cruz, you see the cars down in the middle getting ready for qualifying, those cars that came out in the first session of hot laps. So still with one more session to go, those guys are kind of, you're sitting in that staging lane, kind of like watching turn one, going, okay, where am I going to go? Like, where are the guys at? Hopefully you have a crew guy come over and go, hey, you know, Thornhill just went quick time. He's running the middle, or you kind of driving off the cushion or whatever through 3 and 4. So you're trying to walk yourself through that, thinking back to how your car felt in hot laps. But you can easily overthink it, right? Like,
yeah.
You're kind of sitting there going, oh, God, I got to get my car to turn. It didn't feel like it wanted to. But the track from the first session has already changed so much that you're hoping that you can make it work.
Well, one more group to practice. They'll have a couple of seconds to work on the race cars, try to get them better. We'll see where they end up getting to. So next group of cars have made their way out and onto the racetrack. The 3B is Brody Ferguson. Ferguson in the 3B, Old Timers Bar and Grill. Chase Construction, Shark Racing Engines, Copo Customs sponsor the 3B. Dan Reynolds getting another shot at this. So this is session 1. Coming back out and onto the racetrack. Session 1 is getting a second try here. Sierra Pro Torches Diamondback Shooting Range Auto Body Super Center.
Well, we talked about how much the track changed, Caleb, so probably a good thing. It was still fairly slick. I'll call it snotty, because it's just so wet, slimy, that dirt. So a little bit better chance for them to get a feel for what their car is going to do in qualifying here for sure.
51, Dustin Gehring pushes for the second time. 5D, Destry Miller looks like he's out there once again. Indeed he is. And Kira Zylstra's 51. So Group 1 getting a second try at the now better run-in Skagit Speedway for hot laps.
And remember, Caleb, this is only week 2 that we've had the berm kind of built back up. So most of the season we've had just kind of almost a ramp to use the berm on the track. But these guys last week definitely noticed the difference. You could watch some of them, even through the A main, get their front tires up on it and just totally upset the car. So I'm watching, though, really the line through 3 and 4 is getting in up on that cushion and maybe driving across it. We'll see what some guys figure out. I'll be curious to see in the next session Trey Starks, who we normally see him in the top 5 in qualifying. I'll be curious to see what his line is here, but it really seems like you can enter up on the cushion getting into 3 and then kind of drive down across it to get some speed down the front straightaway. So,
well, of that second group, none of them cracked the top 5. However, improved times across the board for them. As one more group remains that have not hit the racetrack yet, and it's good for that first group because now they get a better idea of what to do the next time they come out and the laps count.
Well, and you talked about none of them even cracked the top 5. Like, that shows you right there, if they went out to qualify, you know, they need to make some adjustments to their cars to try to get them better. So, of course, what they felt in that first session 10 minutes ago, you know, we've had 15, 20 cars on the track. So, good for them to get their cars back in and tune on them.
So we'll see that final 5 push out onto the racetrack. The track crew tried to get a little scrape on the wall, give them an idea of where they needed to go. When they make their way out and onto the racetrack, they will be following around the Jeep Gladiator pace truck, courtesy Carmart USA, track sponsor and 410 division sponsor, longtime proud sponsor, Skagit Speedway. All these incredible race teams out here putting on this show tonight. The entire team of dedicated owners and staff. Remember, if you need a new car, do what's smart. Come on over to Carmart. Well, final group making their way out there. Peyton Drake, another double-duty driver. Car number 10 out of Everson, Washington. Pacific Coast Welding and Marine. Lemley Family Racing, Deming Speedway, Stedman Powder Coated, and Pioneer Garage on the sponsor list. Drake in car number 10.
Down the front straightaway, car number 55 from Puyallup, Washington, in the TNC Concept Starks Racing AL Driveline Newland Bar Service. That is Trey Starks. Trey Starks making his way through corner number 1 and 2.
2 straight weeks for Starks, stealing wins from Robbie Price. Won't be able to do that tonight because Robbie's off trying to get a King of the West win. 4-car, that's Lane Taylor. Score was the 4L, I believe, from McKenna, Washington. Taylor on site, Borden's Auto Parts, R&D Construction, Meese Translation Services, CK Construction, sponsors on Lane.
$20K out of Maple Ridge, BC, sponsored by Black & McDonald, Built Performance, Lordco Parts, Excel Race Gear, and Go-Go Hobbies. That is Kai Dixon. Kai Dixon in car 20K.
Got to look at the 33 of Colton Heath, Mount Baker Landscaping, Brent Rents, Premium Services, Scrap and Stow It, and Triple X Race Components.
Colton Heath goes to the top of the leaderboard here in hot laps. 12:069 is his fastest lap so far. Trey Starks right behind him. These cars here, there's 3 cars out of our group, Caleb, Starks, Taylor, and Heath, that are now the top 3 on the board.
And Dixon 5th quick overall as well.
Shows you there, like, I was thinking a couple sessions ago, like 4 still seems like there's a little bit of drive left in it. And it seems like they might have got that moisture burnt off just enough to where the cars are able to dig a little bit better. So obviously we're seeing it here in this last session of hot laps.
As well, Peyton Drake 6th quick. So Dixon passes up Thornhill to make it an all-final session top 4. And Drake knocking on the door as well. So things change awfully quickly. Things that don't change, this hotel. Built in 1962. They have been around and servicing the Skagit Valley now for decades and decades, and they're huge race fans down at the Kokiusa Motel. It's right off of I-5.
Huge race fans.
That's right off of I-5 here in Burlington. They offer a 30% discount to race fans, so come on in. If you need a cool, comfortable, good place to stay, mention Skagit Speedway and take 30% off your room at the Kokiusa Motel, downtown Burlington.
Similar to last week, the only car in the 11-second brackets, Trey Starks, 11:989 was his official time there in hot laps. So 12:022 was Colton Heath's quickest time. Lane Taylor, 12:196. So we'll look to see if there's more left in the track. They kind of, like I told you, Caleb, they kind of blew that moisture off of 4 to where they can actually get those tires to dig. So we'll see if we can't get a little bit faster than 11.9 here in qualifying.
You know, there is kind of a sweet spot where the track is at its best run in while still retaining moisture before starting to burn off some of that speed. And 11.8, 11.9 has kind of been where that cap has been in 2025 for Skagit Speedway. So first, I'm going to say 5 drivers, maybe 6 might get optimal track conditions, and then from there, everybody else is going to have to figure out where to find what moisture is left and burn it off relatively quickly.
Yeah, you definitely wanted that lower pill.
Track record of 11.085.
So we're a second off.
Yeah, Trey Starks set that in 2020. Final night of the pandemic season. What a crazy year that was.
Oh, yeah, we were on Skagit Speedway TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trey went quick time. Do you remember what happened in the A-Main that night?
No.
So there was 2 pieces that were super interesting about that night. Our points leader no-showed on that final evening of 360 racing that year.
Oh.
Devin Borden, I think, got the ride out in Pennsylvania and went to PA to go run that night.
That was before he moved.
And so the points lead changed on the final night of racing.
Oh, man.
Chase Getz ended up getting that and picking up the win, picking up the points title.
championship, okay.
Now, here's the second crazy part. That was the night that Bailey Jean won in the 360, repassing Jason Solwald around the outside.
Yes.
About mid-race. She had led early, and we were pretty bottom dominant that night. Jason got by her, and then Jason got snugged up in traffic, and Bailey Jean came back around the outside to repass Solwald, which really does not happen all that often, to get her first and only 360 win.
Was that before they were married?
That's before her and Chase were even dating.
So Chase wins his championship, and Bailey Jean wins the race, and now they're married.
Yeah. Maybe it was
Expecting a child.
serendipity,
Hey,
right?
That's right.
That happens. Central Welding Supply's mission of excellent service hasn't changed for a family business. Locally owned and operated since 1975 with local ownership, larger inventory, and expert staff. They make the difference at the 29 locations. Find one near you at centralwelding.com or visit them at 120 North Alder Street in downtown Burlington. Time trials on their way. 360 sprint cars lined up and ready to go. Final adjustments have been made. And all we're waiting on is somebody to say, go.
I know. We saw the thumbs up coming from, is that Grady in the push-off lane?
It is, with the red sleeves.
That's right. Grady shows a thumbs up. You give him the thumbs up back. When Galen says go, you go. Oh, look at him.
Oh, yeah.
Majestic, really.
Yeah. Grady, get that beard in good working shape. That works. Has no idea that we were just telling everybody who was watching on YouTube.
He's going to watch the YouTube replay like, really? Oh, there he goes, clipboard in hand.
He's going to say, damn, look at my beard.
Yeah, it looks good on TV.
Dustin Gehring will be first. The After Hours Customs and Collisions, Lewis Auto Glass, Terraza Auto Detail, Black Market Speed, number 51 is our first to qualify. So on the clock is Gehring. Ooh, off the hammer coming out of turn number 2. So Gehring has to pedal it. He'll get back on it. And the first lap around for Dustin sets the mark at 12.771, 12.771.
You saw him go into turn 3. There's a hole there that he hit. You see it kind of upset the car a little bit. Not bad. It feels a lot worse in the car than it looks, I'll tell you that. But
second time around, way better. 12.238, 12238 for Dustin Gehring.
Next car out on the track is the 95R from Lewiston, Idaho in the Sear Pro Torches Diamondback Shooting Range Auto Body Super Center. It's Dan Reynolds. Dan Reynolds in car 95R. First lap for Dan's a 12.798, 12798 for Dan Reynolds.
See Dan at Dirt Cup coming up next week.
Second lap for him, a little better, 12.558, 12558, still second quick out of 2.
Next down, it's the 9A of Luke Didiak. Didiak from Maple Ridge, BC. Pack Trucking, Mills, Sand and Gravel Mills, Electric, Nordic Temperature Control, and Herc Rentals are the sponsors on the LR Motorsports number 9A. Luke out and quick time, 11.946, so into the 11-second bracket, 11.946. It is second time around. It is slower at 11.973, 11973.
In the car again this week in 51T from Monroe, Washington. The on-site mobile truck wash, Shelton Land and Home, Huffman Enterprise, Cut Rate Auto Parts, number 51T. It's Kira Zylstra. Kira Zylstra in car 51T. First lap 12.169, 12169 for Kira. Last week made her debut in this car.
Looking good as well, double-duty competitor.
Second time for her, 12.102, 12102, slightly better on lap number 2.
Grace Harbor Raceway's track champion in 5D, Destry Miller coming out next. The R Community Credit Union. Bulldog Trailers, number 5D of Destry. Miller on the clock for his first time around, and the lap will be third quickest at 12.114, 12.114. Lap 2, Miller hugs the bottom, looking for speed, finds it, now second quick at 12.071, 12071.
Next car on the track comes to us from Langley, BC, sponsored by Old Timers Bar and Grill, Chase Construction, Shark Racing Engines, and Copo Customs. This is Brody Ferguson. Brody Ferguson in car 3B. First lap time for Brody is a 12:272. 1:2272 is where he'll stop the clock on lap number 1.
Anybody who can get down 12-0 is going to be in pretty good shape here as the track gets a little more tired.
Yes, they will. Second lap slightly better for him. 12:202. 1:2202 will be Ferguson's official lap time.
Our 7th car to qualify is out of Bellingham. It is the PDR Marine Fabrication Speedmart Borthwick KISM Reed Auto Machine 10C of Colin Mackey and Mackey. Last week was borrowing a Lemley Family Racing power plant. This week I think he's back to his own motor, if I heard correctly, and his own motor does not want to make a full lap in the Shays Lawn Care sponsored 10C. As we look over to Colin's buddy Eric and see what kind of juju he's put on his motor tonight.
His hands are in the air. He's innocent, he says.
Claiming it wasn't me. All right, so be it. So Mackey will have to try it again coming up in just a little bit. Justin, Tony Gomes substituting tonight in the Roots Racing 8R.
Yeah, Tony back with us in the XXX Race Co. Richmond Engines Roots Racing entry for car owner Doug Roots.
I'm going to say Tony makes his home in Modesto, if I remember correctly.
Your guess is better than mine, Caleb.
Hey, look
so
at that.
We're going to go, oh, there it is. Modesto, California driver. First lap for him. We'll go second quick, 11:964. 1:1964 for Tony Gomes. Really driving the car in hard on the bottom of the track. Second time for him, 12:136, so he will take his first lap time at 11:964.
Gomes, that's one of his trademark. That guy races really, really hard. Jason Solwald, our reigning 410 track champion, out next in the Shaylin Ray Motorsports Blue Cow Car Wash, Car Mart USA, Lulu's Espresso. Thanks, Aaron, number 18. Solwald, quick time, 11:622. 11:6. That is mind-blowingly quick for Solwald here on his second lap. Really good 11:646 to follow him. 1:1646. Solwald quick time by 0.3 of a second.
Next car on the track is car number 26 from Burlington, Washington. The Rudine Racing, Spaney Buildings, Race Rudine Foundation, Race Ready Clothing, Factory Cane sponsored car. It's Levi Hillier. Levi Hillier's first lap time is 11:881. That's good for second quick. Looking for a little more speed to get to the top of the board here on lap number 2. Second lap time for Hillier, 11:762. Better, 1:1762, the official time for the 26.
So Hillier cuts a really good lap as well. Looks like mid-pill's actually turning out to be pretty good here. As we look at Jordan Milne from Edmonton coming out. Jordan sponsored by NAPC, TRC Transmission and Manufacturing, Synergy Coatings, and DC Signs. One of those drivers who comes a long, long ways to race with us. We really appreciate his efforts to get here. 12:307 on lap number 1 for Jordan. 12:307. Sits him 9th so far of the cars that have run. Looking for a better lap number 2 and pulls it off. Moves up to 8th quick at 12:224. 1:2224.
Next car from Enumclaw, Washington, sponsored by BME Enterprises, Missile Motorsports, Extreme Graphics, and PGH Excavating. This is Colby Thornhill. Colby Thornhill in car number 19. First lap time for Colby in 11:927. That's good for third quick so far, 1:1927. Looking for slightly more speed on lap 2 to go to the top. He'll find a little more, 11:766. Still third quick for the 19 of Colby Thornhill.
Coming out next, this is the Wing Down Race Rudine Foundation Speed Mart Johansson Mechanical number 66 of Tanner Holm. Tanner Holm is the 66. And lap number 1 for Tanner. In and across. At fourth quick, make it a 11:937. 1:1937. Second time by, can he get quicker? Answer is, Justin?
Slightly, 11:832, 1:1832 on lap number 2 for Tanner Holm.
On to the raceway next. This is the 29K of Levi Kuntz from Carnation, Washington. LaUna 292, George Anderson Company, Stillwater Trucking, Looker, and Bighorn Excavating. And the first lap around for Kuntz's ninth fastest at 12:147, 12:147. Second time around for Kuntz, 12:140, 12:140.
Next car out onto the track from Alger, Washington, sponsored by Elite Transportation, Cascade Materials, and Nordic Temperature Control. This is Ashley Johnson.
Economy Propane is the sponsor that's not showing up in that field.
Thank you, Caleb.
You're welcome.
First lap for Ashley's a 12:441. That puts her currently 13th quick. Second lap, driving it deep into the bottom of corner number 3. We'll see if she can get faster, 12:507, so she'll take her first lap time as her official lap.
Out next, this is the 33R, Bill Rude out of Mount Vernon. Rude, our 16th car to qualify. Skagit Roofing, Sign Pro, Ideal Rental, R&H Mechanical, and Northwest Auto Body. Bill's lap is 4th quick at 11:796. 1:1796. Bill Rude laying down a lap in time trials. Hard on the gas for Bill. Can he get better? Just a hair slower at 11:856. But a good lap time for Bill Rude. 1:1796 is 4th quickest.
Another lap we should see that's quick. This driver from Puyallup, Washington, TNC Concept Starks Racing AL Driveline Newland Bar Service. This is Trey Starks. Trey Starks in car number 55. First lap for Trey. He goes quick time, 11:467. 1:1467 for the 55 of Trey Starks. Can he get quicker here on lap 2? He does not. He'll take his first lap as his official time, 11:467. Now your quickest qualifier is Trey Starks.
Closest anybody's been to the track record in quite some time as the 4L of Lane Taylor out of McKenna, Washington makes his way and out to time in. Taylor on-site, Borden's Auto Parts, R&D Construction, Meese Translation Services, and CK Construction. First lap, 11:757. Taylor's 3rd quick. Lane Taylor,
wow,
lots of talent for him. Never really seen him for a full every race season. He's gotten close. Lap number 2, even better, 11:702. 3rd fastest tonight for Lane Taylor in the 4L.
Your next car out to qualify from Everson, Washington. This is a XXX chassis with a Shark Racing engine under the hood. Sponsored by Pacific Coast Welding and Marine, Lemley Family Racing, Deming Speedway, Stedman Powder Coating, and Pioneer Garage. Peyton Drake. First lap for Peyton's a 12:056. 1:2056. That's currently 10th quick. Enters a little higher, runs right through that dark strip through 3 and 4. Second lap time's a 12:228. He'll take lap 1, 12:056 at currently 10th quick.
12:0, still kind of holding up for mid-pack, but I thought it would be a little bit better. We've seen a better time trial than I expected here. Colton Heath on the 33 is out next, the multiple-time track champion, driving the Mount Baker Landscaping, Brent Rents, Premium Services, Scrap It, Stow It, Triple X entry. And Colton, lap 1, 3rd quickest time of the night at 11:702. 1:1702. He beat Taylor by 6,000ths of a second. Looking for more, coming off the corner. And Colton into the 11.6s, still 3rd quick at 11:658. 1:1658.
Your final car to qualify for 360 Sprint cars from Maple Ridge, BC. The Black & McDonald Built Performance, Lordco Parts, Excel Race Gear, GoCo Hobbies. This is Kai Dixon. Kai Dixon's first lap time is at 11:733. 1:1733. That's good for 5th quick right now. Second lap for him. He will stay 11:818, so 5th quick for the 20K of Kai Dixon. A lot of speed staying in the track throughout our qualifying session, Caleb. But your quick qualifier is the 55 from Puyallup, Washington, Trey Starks, an 11:467. Your quick time tonight in the 360 Sprint cars. Second was Jason Sowald. Colton Heath 3rd, Lane Taylor 4th, and Kai Dixon rounding out your top 5.
Our unofficial track statistician, Blake Anderson, telling us that's the 26th quick time for Trey in the 360s or overall? 360 division since he's been in it. So he is the leader in quick qualifying for them. Congratulations to Trey. Well, Sportsman sprint cars will come out for practice. K-Pro Auto is Stanwood's hometown auto repair shop, serving our community of Stanwood, Camano Island since 1999. We also have to say a thank you to North Hill Resources, providing quality landscape materials for all your project needs since 1997, serving Skagit, Whatcom, Island counties, and now offering construction services, including septic installs and repairs. That's North Hill Resources. Finally, Action RV, your family-owned and operated RV repair facility, offering mobile service to your location or service at the shop. Come meet the friendly folks at Action RV.
It appears we have a late entry, Caleb.
Well, Cam Smith, welcome to the party. Make it 22 360s. As Cam says, Lee Corso style, not so fast, my friends.
He's just going to send it. You know?
Why not?
Just go for it.
Cam's got a lot of starts around here and should be one of those guys that knows where he wants to roll out of the trailer every night. So strap up the safety gear. That's Grady, who was down there.
I think that's Colin Starks on the quad. Probably like, hey, here's where you need to run. Here's where Trey ran. Go try this line.
Yeah, listen, go high or go low.
Or go low.
Either way, it'll be interesting.
Go for it. The 17 car joining us from Mill Creek, Washington. This is a Helix chassis with a Favre engine under the hood. QuickTime Espresso, QuickTime Transport, Linden's Restorations and Fabrication. Cam Smith. Cam Smith rounding turn 4 to take the green flag.
Ooh. You hear it? It's a little grumbly as she got it in the bottom end. Yep.
Well, we'll see what he can do with it.
Well, it picked up, right? Now as he's in the higher RPMs.
He may have just kind of been feathering onto it, but first lap for him is a 12.568. That's going to put him 21st.
And it's one lap and one lap only.
Off, yep. So not the lap he's looking for. Well, we're going to need to get some story on that.
With our format, too, his main event starting spot's going to be heavily weighted on heat race finish. So...
report from unofficial track statistician Blake Anderson. Toter home problems on the way to the track. So...
Well, we're going to run our guys and gals from the center across and back into the pit area. Carla is going to take her residents of the fun bus back to them as they all got an up-close and personal view of qualifying down in the middle. And while we do that, I'm going to take my headset off and hand it over to Eric List, who is going to go ham on the Sportsman sprint car practice and time trials. So you hang tight. Hold on. Mute.
See the 10C at Colin Mackey down the front straightaway, trying to get that car to light off, but doesn't look like it's going to yet.
So, you know, Justin, I was talking with Colin Mackey the other day, and he had heard my comments that I had made a couple weeks ago when I had tried to compliment him on his lap time, and he's told me to not say anything but bad things about him, and I'd like to go on the record and say I said nothing about what happened in that qualifying session. I wasn't on the headset, so this can't be my fault. I redeemed myself through helping him on some of his maintenance program, and I am under orders to say terrible things. So Colin Mackey, not a good sprint car driver, is what I've been told to say.
And now it's on YouTube forever, so that was nice.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. You know,
I'm just kidding.
So anyways.
Did you just admit that you helped him on his maintenance program? Now his car won't fire.
Well, but see, I didn't touch the motor. I don't touch the motor, Justin.
Probably a good call.
I touched bars, and that was about it.
All right.
And then I went and put panels on the micro. So, you know, yeah.
How did you do last night? So Colin...
He finished third last night.
Third last night. So we have some drivers. Yes, so we have some drivers in our 360 class that, and Sportsman too, that race at Deming Speedway as well. So Levi Hillier last night getting the win in the 600 Open A-Main at Deming Speedway. Colin Mackey finishing third. So
yeah, behind David Green.
Both those guys racing in our 360 class here tonight.
So, Justin, did you know This is the highest sporty car count since August 30th, 2014, according to the very own Blake Anderson.
How many do we have?
We have 26 here tonight. Back in
night.
2014, there were 28, and it's the second highest since 07.
Wow, that's impressive. Good car count tonight. Hey, good
great
weather
car
brings it
count.
up. The 4 car on the back straightaway fired off, and now is no longer fired. So we got some safety crew over there making sure everything's okay. Sure, we're going to push truck back behind the
Ashley Johnson
4 car.
Well, saw her out there with the hood off earlier, and it looked like it had fired then. So I don't know if they're just trying to figure something out.
Could be. Very well could be. Allison Johnson in the 4 car from Ferndale.
Oh, thank you. I said Ashley, didn't I?
You did. Hey, her sister races the 0 in the 360 class, so I sometimes too. I got to catch myself.
Yeah.
Out on the track right now, car number 88. You saw him on the screen just a few seconds ago. It's Jaden Whitney from Stanwood in the Great Western Transport Arlington Earthworks Powder Coating Inc. Snohomish Napa Auto Parts sponsored car. Jaden Whitney in car 88. Right behind him, rolling into turn number 3, that's the 70. That is Macy Logsden. Macy Logsden from Mount Vernon in the Sea Island Sand and Gravel, Pit Stop Laundry, Absolute Plumbing, Aquatech, Well Drilling and Pumps, Conway Pub and Eatery, Rindall Trucking sponsored car. Macy making her way down the front straightaway now with those reflective gold numbers. Can't miss it.
It's a great looking car. Out of Friday Harbor in the 74, it's Mark McCuffin, MEM Enterprises, Inner Island Water Company, Pack Trucking, J&M Excavation, San Juan Concrete. That's the 74 of Mark McCuffin.
Into turn number 1, the 66. That is Brett McGuy. Brett McGuy from Arlington in the Pit Stop Laundry Services, Schaefer Racing Oil, Pacific Performance Coatings, Bob and Mary Reynolds, CSI Construction sponsored car. Brett McGuy joining us.
Who else is out there?
72, I believe that is Rapid Roy Blumenhagen.
It is indeed.
In car number 72. Scored as 72R tonight for our scoring purposes. So far, your quickest car on the track is the 88 of Jaden Whitney.
Jackson Stratton out there out there as well. The J&J Shark, B&T Automotive, Arlington Power Equipment, Sideline Excavation, number 47.
Just about as quick as I said Jaden Whitney was quickest. Macy Logsden took over that spot. So now to the top of the leaderboard is Macy in car number 70. Lap time of a 12.690. Whitney second, McGuy third, and Blumenhagen fourth, followed by Stratton, McCutcheon, and Johnson, who I don't believe got a lap.
I don't think she did either.
So, if I remember correctly, she was a scratch from our main last week. So maybe
I believe you're right with that, yeah.
Rolling over from last week. So we will see if she can get that back together for our qualifying session coming up after these hot laps.
Yeah. Good for Macy, though. Chatted with her yesterday. A lot of work had to be done on that car after being involved in the accident.
That's right.
Last Saturday on the back straightaway. A lot more than it looked like, especially with the motor overheating. So good to see her go back out and turn quick time. Out there now in the 09 Rusty Becker Trucking. None other than our good friend, Piper Harless. Shark, Team 31, Uncle Chuck Racing, Triple X, OPC Racing on the 09 of Piper Harless.
The 44J joining us from Sedro-Woolley, Washington. That's a Triple X chassis with a Shark Racing engine under the hood. It's sponsored by Old Timers Bar and Grill, Chase Construction, Long Arm Towing and Hauling, Jimmy and Sons Trucking, and Tacos Tecalatan. I am going to hope I said that right. That's how I say it, so that's how I'm going to say it tonight.
You know,
that is Jalen Serrano. Jalen Serrano making her way through corner number 4.
And right behind Serrano in the 8. Out of Seattle, Washington, Shark, Triple X, Speed Mart, that's Tom Weiss. Tom Weiss in the 8. Wing Down Racing Machine.
Another one of our double-duty drivers in car number 51. That is Dustin Gehring. Dustin Gehring out of Oak Harbor. The After Hours Customs and Collisions, Lewis Auto Glass, Terraza Auto Detail, Black Market Speed, ST special thanks. Sorry. Hey.
There you go.
Bonfire Betty and Wade Underwood.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to let you go through it.
Figured it out eventually.
I know you're a smart guy, Justin.
Oh, there we go.
Tony Bundy out of Alton, North Dakota. Jet City Equipment, Pit Stop Laundry, CSI Construction, K&B Excavating on the 57T as he's scored.
The only car we did not say in our introductions, the 22J is Jessen Jacobson. He is now your quickest car in Sportsman Sprint qualifying. He comes to us from Stanwood, Washington. Sponsored by Grinders Automotive and Marine, Meldecker Racing, Burlington Eagles, Sasquatch Subs, Jacobson Trucking, and Fast Track HVAC. Jessen Jacobson is now your quickest car in hot laps. Macy Logden still holding there in second. 51 of Gehring is third. Whitney fourth. And Serrano now on the board in fifth.
Jessen Jacobson, 2 wins and a second place, trying to keep a streak of top threes going.
Which is really good to see because I felt like last year they didn't show up every week, and it seemed like they just fought gremlins every single time. The motor wasn't running. Something would just go wrong. Bad luck on the track, get involved in a spin, something like that. And so it's really, really, really good to see Jessen back. Of course, son of Travis Jacobson, I would say, legend of Skagit Speedway.
I think that's fair to say.
So very, very cool to see Jessen back performing very well this season in the Sportsman Sprint class.
Well, going down the back straightaway at Oak Harbor, Washington, Triple X, O'Reilly's Oak Harbor, Powers Diesel and Automotive Services. That's the 27 of Garrell Powers. Garrell Powers in that black, or in the gray and orange 27.
The 9 car making his way down the back straightaway is Ronnie Cox. Ronnie Cox in car number 9. Comes to us from Bothell, Washington, sponsored by Pierre's Burlington Used Car Superstore, Spiro Skin Spa and Salon, Tepic Mexican Restaurant, Rev Up Energy, and Mr. T's.
Out there as well in the 87. That's Jeff Pearson out of Conway, Washington, the Triple X First Class Auto Glass General Plus Installation. Pierre's Burlington Used Car Superstore, Mare Builders, Skagit River Chiropractic, the 87, Jeff Pearson.
Car number 19 behind them through turn number 2. That's Alden Ostrom out of Cedar Woolley, sponsored by Dirty Deeds Septic, Cascade Flats Wedding Venue, and Wing Down. That is Alden Ostrom.
Rolling into turns 1 and 2 behind Alden Ostrom. The 66, that's Brett McGuy out of Arlington. Just kidding.
Different 66.
Different 66.
This is 66T. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I was just looking at that. I was like, that's not. Taylor Burstick out of Surrey, BC. The Roots Racing, Alpha Fleet Services, Western Gas Co., West Canada Auto Parts, and Access Road Assistance. 66T of Taylor Burstick.
Car we did not say, who is now third quick overall, is the 13. That's Steven Hendrickson. We saw him get his first sprint car win last Saturday night in that car from Bellingham, Washington. That driver is sponsored by Pack Trucking, Miles Sand and Gravel, Mills Electric, Nordic Temperature Control, and Herc Rentals. Steven Hendrickson was in car number 13. He is third quick overall. The top 2 did not change. Still Jessen Jacobson and Macy Logden holding those top 2 spots. We've got some side-by-sides out on the track. It looks like maybe they're looking for some debris somewhere.
Some debris. One stopped under the Jumbotron, the large TV screen out on the back straightaway.
I don't see anybody get out.
I didn't either, but one was stopped nonetheless.
I appreciate that they're looking, though. A few weeks ago, there was a muffler on the track, and I was like...
I was noticing you pointing that. You and everyone else pointing that one out.
No, we're not going lights out. We need to get this muffler off the track before we go.
Yeah, you and everyone else pointed that one out. I forget who stopped, too. I think one car stopped.
Probably Trey.
Either way, a guy who's been really consistent, back-to-back top 3 finishes, finishing third, and the 73 doing double duty tonight at Everson, Washington, the Triple X Shark, Freedom Fireworks, Shark Racing Engines. That's the 73 of Peyton Drake. Peyton Drake in the 73.
Really cool to see him in this car last week because, man, the 360 field is so deep.
It is.
And he's fairly new to the sprint car world, mini sprint, sprint racer up at Deming, but to see how competitive he was last week was really, really cool to see.
Well, Justin, I think that, and you can elaborate, really just shows how important laps are in a sprint car. You see a lot of people just doing double duty because laps are so important. Why is that?
Yeah, I think it makes one easier than the other. I mean, any laps are good, right? Like,
Yeah.
you need to be behind the wheel to get that situational kind of awareness, I'll say. But him going to this after the 360, this is going to feel super slow to where he can kind of grab his attention and focus on what the car is doing better than kind of the rapid fire, everything happening quickly in the 360, right? So just better for him to kind of process that, what the car is doing. 37 car out on the track. That is Sean Wallenfels Jr., but we have a yellow for the 17 stopping here on the, well, slowing on the front straightaway. That's Dana Glenn out of Covington, Washington, making a stop just past the flag stand here.
First time back in Skagit Speedway for a couple of years.
Dana, haven't seen him in a while, so.
Same car that was run by Nick Evans at one point, so I was told.
Yeah, no, that's very cool to see Dana back. I think he was in the 10 that Colin Mackey's in now.
I believe at one point, yes, that sounds right.
He's been in a couple different cars,
Yeah.
but it's good to see Dana back. We'll introduce the rest of these drivers to you. The 37, Sean Wallenfels Jr. out of Stanwood. The Precision Racing Engines, Marty Hopkins Contracting, Pied Piper Pub sponsored car. That's Sean Wallenfels Jr. Saw him back last week for the first time in a while as well. 36 car making his way down the front straightaway. That is Tanner Merritt from Camino Island. That's a Maxim chassis, sponsored by Tepic Mexican Restaurant, First Class Auto Glass, General Plus Insulation, Delta Camshaft, and Pierre's Burlington Used Car Superstore. Had a pretty good run last week there for Tanner, one of his best of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So fun to watch that 36 car.
Behind Tanner, the 23 of Zan Miller, the 23X. You know, I don't like when the numbers and the letters especially are small. Olympia Washington Triple X Shark, Bulldogs Trailer, Razor's Edge Drywall, Sound Diesel Services, Apex Ground Control, 23X of Zan Miller. Still Peyton Drake actually goes to the top of the board at 12.579. Now that car's always qualified well the past 2 weeks. He's qualified and hot lapped really well, so it'll be fun to watch when he comes back out here. Jessen Jacobson second at a 12.653. Macy Logston third. Kira Zylstra fourth. And Steven Hendrickson rounds out the top 5. And that should be everyone. Indeed it is. From Sportsman Car Hot Laps, you can see staged out on the back straightaway. We'll roll straight into qualifying.
Yeah, you're talking about Peyton Drake.